All right, so for everybody here, this sort of came up organically in one of my personal training sessions, and then I reviewed it at the staff meeting, but unfortunately Christian has a job as a teacher and didn't have the opportunity to be there, so I've written it up and I'm just gonna give Christian the run through of what we went over at the staff meeting. You guys are lucky enough to be here. I've got a couple of nutrition clients and they work out together in one of the small groups. And so I'm referencing client A in one of the groups and myself. And I just happen to be reviewing his daily nutrition. So he's one of my clients. I check in on him every single day to see how things are going. And I noticed that his calories were a little bit off and his macros, so his protein, carbohydrate, and fat split was just a little bit strange. So I took a closer look and I realized that our numbers are really similar for our daily targets, right? Daily target of 2,500 calories for him and 2,500 calories for me. So I thought that as a teaching point in the PT, as they were stretching, similar to you guys now, I would just run through what the days look like and how he could maybe improve what he's doing and what two different nutrition plans could look like on a day-to-day basis. That being said, I don't have everybody on the plan working with MyFitnessPal or any sort of calorie tracker. So this is a special case and a great opportunity, I think, for learning. So client A had a day of actual intake of 2,629 calories. And for 2 different days, I had 2,530 calories and 2,544. I think the important thing to note here, you can see there's very little food consumption throughout the day. And then with myself, there's a lot of food consumption throughout the day. The other things that I really noted is that his target macros, so the carbs, protein, and fat was 35, 35, 30. Mine are relatively similar, 40 on the carbs, 35 on the protein, 25 on the fat. Right? It just works a little bit better for my energy levels. I'm up really early and I work throughout the day, so I need a bit more carbs for energy because that's what carbohydrates are. They are energy to fuel your body to get you through the day. So I was a little concerned when I saw his macros were 17% carbohydrates, 50% protein, and 33% fat. So that's an actual number of 84 grams of carbs in the day, 233 of protein, and 68 of fat. Where on my side of things, I had a day of 42, 36, and 22, and a day of 43, 35, and 22. So they were really, really similar, but I had 269 grams of carbs, or 279 the next day, 226 grams of protein, or 222. So our protein numbers are actually really, really close. And fat-wise, I had 62 grams and 61 grams. Fat really, really close, protein numbers really, really close, but the calorie intake was a little tiny bit off. So what that looks like in a general day and how much food you can actually consume of high quality nutrients was one day was eggs and egg whites, a little bit of red pepper, 3 ounces of ham, 11 ounces of chicken breast, and a 0 sugar barbecue sauce. And that sounds like a lot, but it's 2 breasts if they're big, 2.5 if they're small. Miso soup, sashimi, and a Japanese salad, so a standard order at a sushi place. Cliff Builder bar, gluten-free, top-notch. An 11-ounce tenderloin, so a pretty decent-sized steak. Cauliflower, zucchini, broccoli, about 1 cup, so about 75 grams of carbohydrates there. Salad, a tablespoon of dressing, and a teaspoon of oil to roast the vegetables in. And that was a full day of food. Right? So I just want to bring you back. That's 2,629 calories. For me, my day looks like 1 egg, 100 grams of egg whites, 80 grams of potatoes. That's actually a physical handful of potatoes. That's how I like to measure a lot of my stuff. So I just grabbed a handful of potatoes, put it in a container, top notch. It ended up to be 80 grams. I had 2 ounces of chicken breast, so that's finely sliced and I just pick it up, put it in, 2 little pinches. I had a half a cup of oat milk throughout the day, so 3 coffees, 1 in the morning caffeinated, and 2 decaf throughout the day with a little bit of oat milk. I have my giant smoothie every single day, and so what's in that magical jug that you guys see me carrying around, it's 1 cup of frozen fruit, 2 cucumbers, a stalk of celery, half of a pepper, 2 oranges, banana, 2 tablespoons of flax seeds, and 2 handfuls of spinach, and then I just fill with water. So that's where I get the vast majority of my vegetables. If it does seem a little veggie shy, it's all in that drink. I don't have time to chew. I'm too busy talking to you guys. At 8:30, I have what I call normal person breakfast. So I have a third a cup of rice and 150 grams of ham. That's like a handful. So I grab a handful of rice, I put it in a container, and the ham's about the size of my palm and the thickness of my palm. 2 scoops of Magnum protein powder, you can get it up front. I have that every day post-workout. And I always double scoop because, again, I don't have a ton of time to chew. I got to go home and see my lovely wife, and I had 2 homemade biscuits. Delicious. Homemade, it's great. 4:30, I had first supper, 1/3 a cup of rice and 150 grams of ham, the exact same serving as up here. And then for dinner, I had 3 ounces of chicken, so that's that palm-sized serving, 1/8 of an avocado, 1/3 a cup of rice again, and that was over a salad with 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. I don't really like salad dressing. I don't think it's worth the fat that it gives me, and I'd rather have it come from the 1/8 of an avocado. For my evening snack, I had 1/3 a cup of Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter because it mixes really well, and a 1/2 scoop of Magnum, and I blend that up with a little whisk, and then I have it with a rice cake. The chocolate peanut butter rice cakes, chocolate chip caramel ones. And then in the evening, because I never want to feel like I'm depriving myself, and I love chocolate, I have 2 squares of Lindt chocolate. Then to make sure I only have 2 squares, my wife goes to the fridge, she brings the chocolate, she gives me 1 square, I eat it. She gives me a 2nd square, I eat it. She puts it back in the fridge, and then I fall asleep. Right, it's pretty good. The following day on Wednesday, to have things look exactly the same, right? Breakfast was the same, my smoothie was the same. I was running out of ham, because like sometimes meal preps like that. So I only had 110 grams in my normal person breakfast and in my first dinner. So that I ended up my snack, the biscuits were gone too, that was kind of sad. I had 1/3 a cup of rice, a cup of mixed veggies, the broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, frozen, steamed it really quick, with 2 tablespoons of butter on some air fried cod, about the thickness of my hand, 50 grams, and 16 sweet potato crackers. That was literally, it says a serving is 16 crackers on the box. I grabbed the biggest handful I could, I put it in a container, and then I counted. I was like, sweet, 16, good yard. My 7:30, 8:30, 9:30 was the exact same. It makes it really simple for me to eat the same things, and I eat the same things that I enjoy every day. I never ever go hungry, and I'm never tired. One thing that we really noted when client A hit his workout that morning, the next morning, right when I was a little concerned, gassed. Nothing to get through the workout, super, super low energy. And so that's something that draws my attention too. If you don't have enough energy to function throughout the day, and if your energy levels aren't really steady, then there's something that we need to look at. So many people out there are so scared of eating so much food. Like, Christian, we put you on, like, we upped your calories a ton because you're doing so much work at school, you're running around, you're here in the gym and you're hitting workouts. And what I needed the staff to really understand is that we can consume a ton of whole foods and function properly and feel so much better about ourselves, right? One cool thing that at the staff meeting they missed that I just found out, this is the bonus info, I did a little soul searching on the Brown's Cowboy Salad with chicken. Has anybody had that in here before? Brown's Cowboy Salad? Yeah, we have. 850 calories for a salad with 55 grams of fat in the salad. Daily I have 60. My top limit, if I actually hit the 25%, is 69 grams of fat. So if I had 1 cowboy salad, that would be 84% of my daily intake. That's insane for something that most people think is healthy, right? So I think that education is the most important thing, and the more knowledge that we can share with each other, the better. The sodium levels for the salad off the charts. 2,224 milligrams of sodium. The daily recommended intake is 2,300. You get all your salt for 1 full day in 1 salad, right? So just a little piece of information about how different days can look for different people, but what the actual outcome and caloric effects can be. Any questions, especially Christian? Or anything that you take away from that?
I'm just wondering why, I'm not surprised you guys' energy was so low. 84
Yeah.
grams of carbs, I'll have that in 1 meal.
Have it in 1 meal. That's a banana,
Yeah.
right? No carbs all day. That's exhausting. No, it's pretty close. Like, cause it's all sugar, bananas are all sugar, right? So the more you fuel your body, the better you'll be. It's like fueling a gas tank. You wouldn't ride it to empty and just hope for the best, right? You would fuel it throughout the day. Yeah, what's up?
Do you meal prep like is it 4:37 and later you prep ready to go?
So, oh, that's an amazing question. I love that question. So my breakfasts are already prepped. On Sunday, I make all my potatoes and all my chicken, but then I make the eggs separately. So I make the eggs on Sunday night. So that's for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then on Wednesday night, I make eggs for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because scrambled eggs longer than 3 days. I don't know how they taste, but I'm worried about it. So I just go the 3 days because I know it tastes good up until then. My ham and rice is already prepped. And then the 7:30 chicken, the chicken's already pre-sliced because I slice it all on Sunday. So that it's ready to go. The cod in the air fryer I made fresh and I timed it. It took 20 minutes start to finish. Like 20 minutes from getting the air fryer out, getting the cod out of right, because it's just frozen, out of the plastic, counting out the sweet potato crackers, 20 minutes start to finish. When I make my salad in the evening, it's when I'm prepping my smoothie. So I make my smoothie the night before. So I get out all the vegetables, chop, 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 put everything in the salad, put everything in the blender, and away you go. And then after I have my salad, I let that compress a little tiny bit, and then I'll get up, stretch, go and make my midnight snack at 8:30. So most of my meals are prepped in advance to make sure that I have the most success that I can. That's a great question, though. Thank you. Anything else? Cool. Thank you for paying it. Yeah, I love questions.
Does it change on workout days or
No,
non-workout days?
it doesn't. We're not professional athletes, right? Even like Freya had that question too, so she works with me and she's as close as we have to a professional athlete. On rest days, I get her to eat the exact same because that would be similar to a refeed day. So that's what we typically see happens. It'll be like you need to cut calories and you need to essentially starve yourself for 6 or 7 or 8 days in a row. And then you get a refeed day where you get to eat your cinnamon toast crunch and 16 donuts. And that creates this vicious cycle of no sugar and no fun, and everything sucks in my life in food, which is an everyday occurrence. And then on the weekend, you just get to gorge yourself stupid. So then on Monday, all you want is sugar again. And you feel kind of guilty because you're like, oh, even though it was a refeed day, I can't believe I ate at Red Robin and I had the onion ring stack, and then I went home and I had 4 chocolate bars. And like then I drank 8 beer and I just I know it was a refeed day, but I feel gross. I never want to feel gross after I eat because that's a deterrent to eating, and eating is what fuels your body. So if every time you put gas in your car broke down, you wouldn't put gas in it. So if every time you eat, you feel like crap, of course you don't want to eat.
No, I mean like if it's a workout day,
I eat the exact same.
don't
Doesn't matter. I don't deviate. I don't increase or decrease because I still need to fuel my body, especially as CrossFitters. We work out enough. Most people are on at least 4 days a week of physical activity, and then your body gets used to doing this. It's like when you go get gas, right? You're either the person that always puts in 20 bucks, right? There's always that person. I know, I understand it was my mother. It was every time we went, she never filled the flipping tank. So it was 20 bucks, 20 bucks, 20 bucks. But the car always had gas. So if you're one of the people, I fill it. Every single time I go, I fill my tank. You wouldn't go, $3. Well, I'm only driving around Langley for the next 3 days, $7. Ooh, I'm gonna go to Kelowna in a week and a half, $7, and then I'll fill the tank. Right? You're always going to fuel your car appropriately. Your body is the same way. It's super important to do that because then as your body regenerates and builds muscle on your rest days, you're still getting enough nutrients to do that. Great question. Really liked it.
Should you, if you do a workout, should you then refuel after in a period of time, or?
So that's another great question too. Meredith Root and Tactic Nutrition, I'm not going to claim that I came up with this analogy, but if humans had to eat at a certain time or we would perish, we wouldn't have made it this far.
Right.
It's ideal to fuel your body before your workout so much that you're comfortable. Some people are way more comfortable eating fasted. I personally, I don't, you see I usually work out around 10:30, 11:30. So there's a big window before I eat, because if I eat too close to my workout, I feel queasy. So that's the general rule of pre-workout eating. Ideally, you'd have a quick carb to fuel your workout, a banana, a little bit of rice, or whatever it happens to be. Afterwards, it's whole food when you can get it in your body. Like something that you've made yourself at home that has some quality protein, some quality carbs, and some fats. But it's not like if you don't eat 2 hours after your workout, the workout's not gonna work. That's not the way it works, right? That's another great question too, because we get into the fine details of when should I eat, and is my protein shake better before or after? You know, do I need to have an isolate, or can, like do I need BCAAs? No, you need to not eat a flipping cowboy salad. You need to make a salad at home. You know what I mean? So if we can get those key details in, then we can start getting into the fine minutia of it, right? We think about it, if you think about it like CrossFit, if it's a wall ball, we need to squat and we need to throw the ball and it needs to hit the target. If we get those things, awesome, hips below parallel, great. But really what's happening is we need to keep our chest vertical, the elbows need to be up, the knees need to drive out, the hips go back and down, the heels are on the ground, right? I'm turning slightly out, I'm gonna extend but try not to jump. I'm gonna absorb right? We could get into every single fine detail of every single CrossFit movement, but we'd never get anything done. So if we get into the fine details of nutrition, when I should eat, how much magnesium and how much B12 needs to be in every single meal, we'd never get anything done. We need to eat consistently throughout the day, things that we make at our own house that don't come out of boxes and bags, and we need to avoid cowboy salads. That's a good question. I love questions. I think they're great. It's how we share information. Cool. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna eat. Guess what I'm gonna eat? I'm gonna eat that salad. It's gonna be great. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for paying attention, guys. Crush the workout.